I know you know where they are, so tell me, before I do some damage you won't walk away from.
Do it right. Sometimes you do it wrong and you prove them right. But through whose eyes you was wrong when you lose a life? Sometimes you lose it all. It's like you threw the dice and realize that you was off. Listen, do it right. Sometimes you do it wrong and you prove them right. But through whose eyes you was wrong when you lose a life? Sometimes you lose it all. It's like you threw the dice and realize that you was off. Longevity in life, people. That's the goal. Stay the course. You are now tuned in to the Evolved Energy Podcast. This is where we push positivity through strength and evolution. I am your host, Twyce. How's everyone doing today? Hope we're all in good spirits, riding on high vibrations. I want to start off by giving you a little insight of who I am and why I started this podcast. Well, I'm 50 years old, turned 50 this year. Always been an active person from, when I was little. Been a member of the boys club since I was 5. Played basketball for years, since I was, young, all the way up till, I was grown. Then, played in high school. Attempted to play in college, but that's a whole nother story. I went to a D3 school and was on the team in the beginning, but things happened outside of that, which caused me to not be able to play, but that's a whole nother thing. But always active, always in the sports, ran track, always outside, running around the neighborhood. Never really out of shape like that, like never overweight. But wasn't always in tip-top shape either. I'm not in tip, top shape. I'm just, right now I'm in good shape. As a 50-year-old man right now, I consider myself in, pretty good shape. But with that being said, the reason for this podcast is because I've learned, through life, because I consider myself very observant, and what I've learned is that as we get older, no one takes health and fitness as serious as they should. And in my opinion, it should be the first thing on the list, because we need health to live, and we need fitness for good health. If that makes any sense. It goes together. But what's going on is that we're not putting that at the top of the list. So that's my reason. I basically, diabetes runs in my family. So I seen a lot of my great grandfather. He lost a couple limbs, went blind before he passed. His wife, my great grandma, she passed from diabetes. My nana. I believe my uncle has it. I know my other uncle has it. But yeah, both sides of my family, mother and father side, it runs deep. So, health and fitness is necessary in my family. But, always my uncles, always sports oriented, always in shape, always doing things. But other than that, the other family members, they're not really doing the fitness thing, or they're not eating clean, and they're not taking it as serious as they need to. And that's the reason I'm starting this podcast, just for the people who don't realize how important it is to put health and fitness first. That's number one. And not only with health and fitness, evolved means being positive and not negative, or changing who you are, or evolving into the best version of yourself. So it's not only on the health and fitness, it's also mental. It's energy,
It's you as a human being too, being protecting your peace, being a better person. So the Evolved Energy podcast, it's not just a podcast, it's a movement, So it's about strength, mindset, purpose. Anyone ready to rise above the negativity, that's who this is for. And we're just trying to push packs of positivity, that's what I call it. And this is actually therapy for me, because I made a few mistakes in my life, and I feel that I'm so evolved now that I want to spread the message as well. And I think that's my job, to help, not even help, but to put some positive things out there right now. Right now, the world's so negative, it's so dark. If I have the power to add my 2 cents in, I'm gonna put it in there, and it's gonna all be positive. And this is to help. All this podcast for is to help. Self-improvement, recognizing who you are, being in depth, really thinking, and acting with intention, moving with purpose, having discipline as the nucleus to everything. Sometimes you got to have by yourself meetings and look at yourself in the mirror. Hold yourself accountable. Don't just brush it off. This isn't a pair of shoes you're shopping for, and if you don't buy them, you're all set. You need this evolution. You need this self-check. And now that we're all on the same page, let's talk about what this first episode is about: being 50, focused, and unstoppable. Because age doesn't slow you down. Your habits do. So once you realize that and rewire your brain, you'll tackle life differently. You'll get it together. Okay? Let's get into it. See, when people hear the age 50, they think slowing down, taking it easy. To me, it's halftime. It's time to regroup and go out for this third and fourth quarter energized, ready for battle, fit, ready to take on the world. It's not about fading out. It's about refining, getting better. See, back in the day, I know, me being 50 now, when we were coming up and we saw someone that was 50 years old, they looked every bit of it. When you heard someone turn 50, we would think they were damn near a senior citizen. This is back in the day, I'm saying. Now, 50's totally different. And I'm going to be one of the catalysts that push the message that no. 50 is not about regressing. Like I said, it's about refining and getting better and getting ready for the second half of your life, because there's a lot more to do. Okay? Now, this is the thing, though. You have to be equipped and fit to live life, the next half of your life, healthy. Because a lot of people, I don't want to say the majority because I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I know more people go into the latter years with aches and pains and ailing way more than people go into their latter years healthy. I know that for a fact. So we're going to turn this thing around, and we're going to make the number be higher. We want more healthy people going into their latter years. When I see people bent over and they're 60-something years old, they haven't moved a weight in their life. They haven't got on the treadmill. They think walking around the block 1 or 2 times is going to help. No. We have to put this thing in the overdrive. Not kill yourself, but you need to train. You need to act. Don't act your age, because it's just a number. You have to understand that movement is medicine. The more you move, the more you stay mobile and agile. Put it this way. Here's an analogy I use. You have a car. You put it in the garage all winter. You don't start it one time. First day of summer, you're hype. You want to jump in the car. Uh-oh. It doesn't turn over when you start it. You know why? Because you didn't put it to work all season. That's like your body. If your body doesn't move on a regular basis, it gets harder to move for you. Your joints lock up. That's why you see the older people walking hunched over, because they're not working out. They're not strength training. The bone density you get brittle. Who wants to grow old and brittle? I want to grow old walking with my back straight. You know, I don't want to be in the mall in the morning walking before it opens with the senior citizens. Nope. I want to be in the park, either strength training or in the gym. No, we're not succumbing to the age. And that's what unstoppable looks like. Not ever falling, but refusing to stay down. No, you're not too old. You're not too late. You're not nothing. You're in your prime if you choose to be. That's your choice. So with that being said, I want to talk about staying focused as well in this world full of distractions. Because man, that's your once you master focus, that's your superpower. And that's when you evolve. So why is focus so important today? Probably because it's so rare. Everything's pulling your attention, whether it's negativity, notifications, all the noise. And most of it's irrelevant to your life plan, if you even have a plan. That's why focus is important. If you're not out here focused, you're just out here flailing in the wind. So my advice to you is to get focused. Forget all the internet games and all of that. Let's focus on what's beneath all of that noise, which is the real you. And what are your goals? You know, we must evolve. It's all about evolution. And when I say evolve, I don't just mean lifting weights and eating clean. I mean guarding your frequency, protecting your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. Without peace, it's chaos. And right now, there's a lot of toxicity in the world that you don't need to be involved in. But a lot of us find ourselves occupied with that stuff. And I don't get it, because once you're lost in that, just sit back and think, what is this doing for my life? Honestly, is it draining me? Is it fueling me? What is it doing? If it's fueling you, double down. Go deep. Do what you got to do. But if it's draining you, get away from that. There's nothing worse than negative energy, especially when you're trying to evolve. You don't want to be around that, you know? And people bring that around. And the sad thing is, it could be your friends, it could be your family. So you have to recognize that. If every time you go around a certain environment, when you leave you feel drained, you know? You can't be like that. That's not the way to live on high vibrations and good spirits. We're not doing that. And I don't care who it is. It could be close people to you. A lot of those people, you outgrow them. And sometimes they're not on what you're on, and you're not on what they're on. So you know what? It's time to part ways, because we're not on the same vibe anymore. We're not on the same frequency. So in order for me to evolve, I must protect mine, you know, no matter who it is. And it's sad to say, but it's the close ones. It's the family. It's the friends that don't want to see that evolution, because they're not on that. And it's ridiculous, because all you want to do is show love and make everybody better. But they can't even receive it right. So get yourself a good righteous routine and follow it to the T. And that's how you'll build that focus you need throughout all of this, all of these obstacles As the evolution happens, you're going to go through some obstacles, but it's okay. We're built for this, you know? So get that righteous routine in your life. I'll tell you, how I start my day, I'm an early bird. If it's up to me, I go to the gym between 6 and 7 o'clock. I train before the chaos. It's other people in the gym as well, with me too, so they know what it is. That early morning workout is everything. It's peaceful. Yeah, but before I even get to the gym, I wake up. I got something what you call a grateful rock. Somebody put me on with. They gave me a rock. So every day I wake up, I touch that rock and say I'm grateful for waking up again. So I stay grounded in gratitude before anything. I'd say thank you to the Lord for waking me up, and that starts my routine off. Righteous. That's called the righteous routine, because it's helping you. It's valuable to your well-being. You want to get in this because it's all about consistency, not comfort. Step out of what you've been doing, and get that routine going. And once you gain that consistency, that's how you build that focus. And your energy's protected, your peace is protected. You're all set. And with that, my friends, I would like to say, if you get anything out of this episode, let it be this. Your energy is the foundation for everything you want in life. The way you move, eat, and think, it all adds up. So you can't evolve halfway. You got to go all the way in. And it's not about being perfect, being the perfect person through this thing. No, it's just about showing up for yourself every day. No excuses. Whatever it is, just, stay the course. You're headed for positivity, you're headed for strength, and you're headed for evolution. You're not competing with anyone. This is all you. It's all you. You're going against yourself. So stay focused, stay consistent, and remember, discipline is the highest form of self-respect, because the goal isn't just to live long, it's to live strong, it's to live clean, and it's to live evolved. I appreciate you for locking in with me today. And if this hit home, share it with somebody who needs that push. And remember, fuel your body, focus your mind, evolve your spirit. And one more thing, nothing changes if nothing changes. This is the Evolved Energy Podcast. Until next time, peace and power.